In this activity, we're shifting from roots to stems and looking at another major role of auxin, cell elongation. You'll see how uneven distribution of auxin in a stem can cause directional growth, which is the basis for both experimental bending and natural responses like phototropism, where plants grow toward light. Auxin promotes cell elongation in stems. When more auxin is present on one side of a stem than the other, the cells on that side elongate more. This creates uneven growth, and uneven growth causes the stem to bend. This simple idea explains a lot of plant movements, including why shoots bend toward light and reorient themselves after being tilted. Before you look at the experimental setup or results, think about this question. If one side of a stem is growing faster than the other, what do you expect the stem to do? Visualize what happens when one side gets longer and the other doesn't. Write your prediction in your lab notebook. You'll use this idea again when you interpret the results. In this setup, auxin mixed with lanolin was applied to one side of a tomato stem near the tip. A control plant received lanolin without auxin. Both plants were grown under the same light and environmental conditions, so the only difference between them was the presence or absence of auxin on one side of the stem. This makes it possible to isolate the effect of uneven auxin distribution. After a growth period, the plants were examined for changes in stem direction and shape. The amount and direction of bending were noted, and the treated plant was compared to the control. This allowed the effect of applying auxin to only one side of the stem to be clearly observed. Now you'll answer these two questions in your lab notebook. First, describe what happened when auxin was applied to one side of the stem and explain why that change occurred in terms of cell elongation. Second, connect this experiment to real plant behavior. Think about how this same mechanism helps explain natural bending responses like stems growing toward a light source. The key takeaway here is that auxin controls stem elongation, and when it's distributed unevenly, it produces uneven growth. That uneven growth causes bending, which is exactly what we see in tropic responses like phototropism. Once you understand this, a lot of plant movement starts to make much more sense.